How many first-time Toastmasters do we have at a district convention? Can you, wow, fabulous, welcome, welcome. You learn so much here, and it's so fun. And how many just guests do we have here today? Thank you for coming out. Maybe one day you'll think about being a Toastmaster too. Well, I met Ellen Schnur when I was at Division, and she did her improv class there. And I volunteered, and I am so glad I did. I recently gave a speech where I followed a doctor who was speaking on women's health. She actually was speaking on menopause. And I know you're thinking right now, too much information, Jill. Yeah. Stay with me, though. So she had him laughing about how bad menopause is. And then it was my time to follow. So I got up on stage and I said, menopause is good. And everyone went, huh? And started laughing a little. I said, I went through menopause when I was in Iraq. Like 116 degrees was not enough. I got to have hot spells on top. And trust me, the male generals and colonels did not want to hear about this. But why was menopause good? It made me mean. Mean! And they were afraid. Fear is good. So thanks to Ellen. And after I took her workshop, I actually took improv for 8 weeks. And that has helped me stay in the now, stay in the moment, find the humor. So today, take as much as you can and consider taking other classes. We have people in this room who have taken acting, who have taken stand-up comedy, who have taken improv. And I would say we're all better speakers because of that. So Ellen, let me read your little bio and I'll bring you up here. Ellen's experience with improv, she is the president, first of all, of Long Grove Lake Zurich Toastmasters. Woo-hoo! She was trained at Second City and at Laugh Out Loud Theater. Ellen has studied with many Chicago masters of improv. Ellen loves to combine her years in business and training with the skills of theater and improv. She found that the skills she learned in improv also applies to Toastmasters. And she loves creating experiences that open up new possibilities for her fellow speakers. Let's give Ellen Schnur a very warm welcome.
Wow, we are going to have to really improvise today. This is a huge crowd, and guess what? Every one of you is going to do some improv today. Years ago, I was giving a presentation to the school board with 2 principals. These 2 principals were kind of techie guys, and we were on the strategic planning committee together, and I was heading it up, and so we had to give our final presentation. They said, Ellen, we got this smart board. We've got to use the smart board for the presentation. I said, that smart board's going to make me look stupid. They really understood how to use it and said, oh, don't worry about it, Ellen, we'll help you, it'll work. So I get up in front and I start the presentation. And of course, the smart board got me. I went straight to my head, thought, oh, I look so stupid. I look ridiculous. Everyone is thinking I'm an idiot. I spotted the door. And you know how time freezes? I thought, I could run out that door and be gone and be done with this. But everybody in this room knows me. And I'm going to see them on the street, and that would be worse. So I bungled my way through the rest of the presentation, and it was bungling. One of those moments in time where I wish I could just erase it from my memory, that it never happened. And here I am telling you about it. Fast forward to 2 years ago, my first improv class at Second City, level 1. It's about 8 classes. We were 7 classes in. There was a wonderful young man in that class named Steve, and Steve reminded me of my son. So much so. We had fun laughing together. We had fun doing scenes together. We were up in front of the class, and we were supposed to do a scene. And the way it works is the teacher gives you a suggestion, and you do a scene based on the suggestion. No pre-planning anything. Just like if you see it at an improv show. So I'm standing there with Steve, thinking, oh, this is going to be fun with my buddy Steve. We're going to do a fun scene, and the teacher says, your suggestion is newlyweds. I freaked out. This is like my son here. I can't do a scene with my son. Oh my God. There's the door again. But this time, nobody knows me. They'll never see me again. I could be out the door, gone. No. This is why I joined Second City. For this moment right here, so that I can overcome a moment that I'm terrified, that I can't think of what to do. I had to stop myself, and all of this, of course, is happening in a couple seconds, but I said, all right, what do you know? What have you learned in these 7 classes so far? Okay, yes, and embrace the scene. Take it on. Don't think. Just jump in. Trust my instincts. I turned to Steve and I said, Sarah, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I couldn't believe that came out of my mouth. But it did. And I realized that when I just let my instincts come through, and I had been trained, that I could trust myself. I was blown away. So today, you all, even though we're packed in here, we're going to do this, we are going to try some improv techniques. Welcome to Second City, by the way. We are going to have a Second City class. I did this in my first couple of classes, and it's an awesome exercise. This is what we're going to do, and I'll talk you through it. It's very simple. I want everybody to take their papers and pens, put them down under their chairs, everything out of your hands. If you're standing up, I apologize, you'll have to carry your stuff around, but I want everybody to stand up. Okay, you know, if you've been in a Toastmasters meeting before and they tell you, and you speak to your audience, that you should make eye contact with your audience, right now you are going to wander the room and you're going to make eye contact with everybody that you pass. So do your best without tripping over people and chairs, even if it's in a small little area. I want you to just walk around a little bit and make eye contact with everyone that you pass and keep going. So eye contact, especially with people that you've never seen before. Eye contact. What we're doing is we are creating a relationship. Okay, now while you're still wandering around the room, if you can hear me, what I want you to do is keep wandering, but now I want you to pretend like you just hit your funny bone. I want to see it in your face. I want to see you holding your elbow and keep wandering. You hurt. I want to see it in your face. And if you feel silly, the person next to you feels sillier, so make it easy for them and do it yourself. I want to see everybody. Let's see that funny bone face. It hurts, right? It really hurts. Okay, just freeze for a minute. Everybody freeze. Freeze in the back, freeze in the middle, freeze in the front. Now, I want you to pretend that you just won the lottery. Going to improvise. I want you to pick somebody nearest you that you don't know. If you know them, you have to turn to somebody else. So everybody find somebody right near you, okay? Everybody, raise your hand if you do not have a partner. Find somebody who's got their hand raised. Everybody needs a partner. Keep your hand raised if you still don't have a partner. Raise it high. There's somebody behind you, right behind you. There you go. Anybody else? Raise your hand. Doesn't have a partner. Okay. Now look at each other, and I want you to decide who's A and who's B. Okay, we got A's and B's. B's, you're going first. A's, you are going to listen to B like you've never listened before. In improv, when you listen, you're not listening half. Oh, let's see, what am I going to respond to that? And how can I be funny? And da-da-da. This is not about being funny, by the way. This is just about coming from your heart. So you're listening. You're going to be affected by what these people say. Okay, you're really hearing them. And you are going to repeat back what you heard. So that's how much you have to listen, okay?
Say it again. Sorry.
Your A's are going to listen to B like they've never listened before. You're going to be affected by what they say. You are not in your head thinking about what you're going to say. You're totally in the present with them listening. And you're going to repeat back to them what they said after they're done. So really listen. B's, you have 30 seconds to 1 minute. And I'm really going to cut you off. You might not be able to tell your whole story. But when I say go, you are going to tell them your most embarrassing high school story. Go! Repeat it back, but I didn't want you not listening. So, B's, it's your turn to listen to A's story of their most embarrassing high school moment. Go.
My most embarrassing high school moment. One time I got a B on this page. Just kidding. No. My most embarrassing high school moment is I came to school one day early because I had to be somewhere. And I went to Marist High School where they had the priest. And one of the priests who did the Schnur show, he liked my car. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to get a ride around the block. So I did, and by the time I came back, I always saw this priest coming out of the way. Knocking on anybody or not knocking on anybody.
And you took the risk and you did it right off the top of your head. So good for you. That is improv right there. It's harder than table talk, folks. I'll tell you. So we're going to do one more thing in this round, and that is I want you to pick a new partner as fast as you can. Fast as you can. Get a ready partner, someone you don't know. Well, okay. All right. A's and B's. Pick an A and a B. Okay. A's, of course, are going first this time. And B's, you're going to listen. Do not think of this. Do not try to come up with this yourself while the other person is talking. Listen to them like you just can't think of anything else to do but listen to them. A's, you are going to tell B in 30 seconds or a little more. Your star moment. If you were on Jimmy Kimmel tonight, what moment in your life would you tell him about? Go!
embrace your partners.
Thank them. Thank him and embrace.
What are we doing today? What's your name? Adrian. Yeah, okay. Okay, yes, thank you.
Okay, everybody, please have a seat. We really need to move on. We only have a few more minutes, and I want to do another game. So we want to get one more game in at least. If we really sit down now, we might be able to get two in. Okay, what I'd like to do briefly is just debrief. Briefly debrief. So, how many of you were uncomfortable with any part of that exercise? How many of you were completely comfortable with everything that we did? That's fabulous. Because normally, of course this is Toastmasters. Normally people are uncomfortable sharing stories like that on the spot or being crazy and being in the moment. One of the things I taught in my other workshop was how to use emotion. Because emotion, when in a speech, if you add emotion to any part of your speech, and this is a really fun exercise that we did. If we have time, I'll try and throw it in. But wait a minute, where's Jill?
Right here.
Jill, come on. Let's do it real quick. So Jill, the reason I had you doing the elbow that hurt and I won the lottery is to experience really just going all out with emotion. So Jill, tell me what you had for breakfast this morning and what you did after that, just briefly.
I had scrambled eggs, whole wheat toast, some fruit, and I was actually preparing for tomorrow. I'm doing a sermon at my church.
A usual morning. And then you got up and then you left and drove here.
No, that I stayed overnight here. So then I just walked down to the other room.
Now, can somebody give me an emotion? Tell me an emotion, a strong emotion.
Anger.
Anger. Okay, Jill, I want you to tell us that same story with anger. And what I said in the other one is a lot of times people, and Jill understands this one, so maybe you can go a little lower and work your way up, but a lot of people think they're at, in a 1 to 10, they think they're at like a 9, and they're actually at a 3. So, go Jill.
Well, I didn't really want the buffet, but if I had just a piece of toast with fruit, then I would have to have, then I'd be paying as much as the
That's a
buffet.
3. Let's go up.
So then I'm looking at these scrambled eggs like, oh, I don't really like scrambled eggs, but I am. Oh my God, they really couldn't give me a bagel with cream cheese first thing on a Saturday morning?
All right, nobody went 10 and a half.
Oh, that wasn't there?
No.
So there I am! And beer is good!
She was just talking about scrambled eggs, and how fun was that? And one of the things that you learn when you try doing this is you totally forget about the fact that you're in front of a whole bunch of people. So, and that's how I get through this. If I'd known that I'd be speaking in front of all these people a few years ago, I'd say, yeah, right. But now, I'm totally in the moment because of improv, and it doesn't, I just really want all of you to experience this. So, anyway, I need 6 volunteers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on up. I'll get you next time. So, if you could line up across the stage. And we're going to do a beginning, middle, and end story. Let me make sure how much time we have so we can do this quickly. Okay. So, one of you is going to step forward. We're going to start a new line at the front of the stage, one at a time. And you're going to start the beginning of a story, like once upon a time, or something else. Just one sentence at the beginning of a story. And I'm going to pick who you are, just randomly. So, I want you to start. What's your name?
Paul.
Paul?
Paul.
Hi, Paul. Come to the front of the stage, Paul. Let's give Paul a big hand. So, Paul, one sentence at the beginning of any story. And obviously we keep it clean.
Once upon a time in Willowbrook.
There we go. Once upon a time in Willowbrook. Okay, Paul, can you come down here? Okay, what's your name?
Jan.
Jan. Okay, Jan, come down here. Jan, you are going to end the story. So you're going to say, however, the last sentence of the story, and they all lived happily ever after, or?
And finally, I got it.
Oh, that's great. Now, as you can guess, the rest of you, you're going to fill in the story. So So each time, he's going to say the beginning and he'll say the end, and I'll pick someone, and you can go anywhere in the story, but by the end, we want to have a semi-complete story, so keep that in mind. So you want to go next? What's your name? Joanne, okay. Joanne, come forward. Anywhere in the story, you can be right after the beginning, you can be in the middle, or right before the end. Now, let's repeat your word.
Once upon a time in Willowbrook.
And the end is?
I finally got it.
The giraffe and the lion woke me up.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Making this come up on the spot. So, so pick us. Oh, let's go through it again here. Let me use the microphone because it's a big room. So, say yours again.
Once upon a time in Willowbrook.
The giraffe and the lion woke me up.
I finally got it.
And then from suddenly, somewhere in the sky, the tooth fairy appeared.
Hey, awesome. Give her a hand. All right, so let me do this one more time so that you guys can hear where you are.
Once upon a time in Willowbrook.
The giraffe and the lion woke me up.
And suddenly, from somewhere in the sky, the tooth fairy appeared.
I finally got it.
Okay, go for it. What's your name?
Tracy denies.
And my tooth fell out, and I lost it, and I looked all over for my tooth.
Yay!
Once upon a time in Willowbrook.
The giraffe and the lion woke me up.
And suddenly, from the sky, the tooth fairy appeared.
And I looked all over for my tooth because my tooth fell out.
I finally got it.
Last but not least, we have
Paul.
Take Paul. Go ahead, fill your card in. Just off the top of your head, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense.
The Willowbrook Inn had turned into a zoo with mythical characters.
Okay? Willowbrook tale.
Once upon a time in Willowbrook.
The giraffe and the lion woke me up.
The Willowbrook Inn had turned into a zoo with mythical characters.
And suddenly, from out of the sky, the tooth fairy appeared.
And I lost my tooth, and I looked all over for it.
I finally got it.
So what do you think the point of that was? Why would you get up on stage with a bunch of people and try and make up a story together? What do you think that's got to do with anything?
It shows your ability to think on your feet and to listen to the other people to try and make sense of the whole situation.
What would have happened if you said, oh, I'm going to say that the air conditioning system broke down, and would that have fit in there? If you had pre-planned that in your head? No. So with improv, you have to listen to what's going on and then make it up right when it's your turn. And work as an ensemble, work together. So when you're a Toastmaster and you're giving a speech, you're not alone up there. You're working with your audience. You have people there that are supporting you. And if you screw it up, do you think they're going to hate you? No, that's what we do Toastmasters for, to practice and to fail and to fall down. Oprah Winfrey was told when she first started out, she got fired because she was told she had no stage presence. The woman who created Spanx, she went to, maybe some of you don't know what Spanx are. It's makes you look good. How's that? Makes women look good. She went into a bunch of investors and lawyers to get funding, and they laughed at her. They laughed her out of the room, said you're crazy, and now she makes over $1 billion a year. So you can't do anything well without looking silly or tripping or failing or falling. Riding a bike, how many times did you fall? So in Toastmasters, where everyone is on your side, and you can screw up. When you're giving your icebreaker or whatever speech you're giving, you can mess up. That's what we're here for. And everyone's there to support you. And that's what they were doing with each other. So we're going to do one more really fun game just for the heck of it. I need 6 more. 1, you want to do it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on up. And this is about working as a team, working as an, can you come down, sorry, down over here? Yeah, down over there, because you guys are gonna come up on stage one at a time. So this is what I call the machine. And so we're gonna come up one person at a time, and you are going to start a machine. And there's two things you have to do. You have to come up with some kind of a movement, like, obviously with a sound effect. Any movement you want. It can be whoosh, anything, some kind of movement. So come on up, I'll let you start. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Garrett Gray.
Thanks, Garrett.
Clank, clank, clank.
Perfect. Okay, hold that just a second. Okay, what's your name?
Deidre Blair.
Deidre
Blair.
Deirdre. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. So Deirdre, you're going to go up and he's going to start up again and you're going to do a movement that somehow interconnects with him. In fact, why don't you come up center stage right here so that people can build on both sides of you, okay? So some kind of movement that makes sense with his movement, okay? And a sound effect, okay? Go ahead. Anything else? Okay, go ahead. Get your sound going in your movement.
Clank, 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 clank.
Okay. Hold it right there. What's your name?
John Nicovice.
John. Okay, you know what to do, John. Sound and movement. Okay, you two go ahead and make sure it interconnects with them somehow.
Clank, 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 clank.
Awesome. Great. Give him a hand. Okay. Angel? Okay, let's get it going again, and Angel's going to join you. Something that works with them. Go ahead. Go ahead, get started.
Clank.
Big hand, that's awesome. Okay. Ken, go ahead, get started, and Ken fit in there somehow. Look at what everyone's doing, and you don't have to be in a line either. You can go anywhere you want. Go ahead. Okay, great, give it a hand. Hey, what's your name? Mary. Okay, Mary, go ahead, and you're gonna fit in with it. Go ahead. Go ahead and do your movements. So everyone's clear exactly what your movement is. I want you to really focus on each other like you're an ensemble, like you're a troupe, an improv troupe, okay? Pay very close attention to each other. Go ahead. Go again.
Clank, 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 clank.
Now I want you to speed it up. And now go slow. Slower. I know this is wearing you out. I'm sorry. Bow, whatever this means to you, I want you to do it in French. Keep going. This is too much fun. Stop now because you have an amazing speaker coming up, and if you don't know who he is, you will soon. He is absolutely amazing. I got to go, somebody had an event called Meet the Press, and Press won the international speech contest, which is beyond imagination for most of us, and I watched him talk about his speech and the other ones, and he is amazing. I wish he was my son. I'll call him Steve. So, without further ado, I wish for all of you lots of yeses in your life, lots of adventures and failures And if you can, take an improv class. And if you're interested in information, more information, where you can take a class, or if you're interested in learning more about improv, there's a sign-up sheet there. I'll send you an email. There's lots of places to take improv classes, and I do them too. So,
Thank you, Ellen. A bit more applause. So I took improv for 8 weeks at Laugh Out Loud in Schaumburg. Every Monday night, I laughed my butt off for 2.5 hours. How therapeutic is that? So I really do encourage you to sign up to find out. There's all kinds of clubs around the area, but to consider taking it. So once again, Ellen, super thank you, especially with a room like this.